Welcome to Season 4 of She Lancer, Mom Entrepreneur with VoiceOver Angela. I'm your host, Angela. I'm a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and this podcast are the audio versions of my live Q&A chats on YouTube. If you'd like to be part of the live Q&A chats, come on over to my YouTube channel, VoiceOver Angela. I'm live every Tuesday at 12 p.m. EST. We talk about voiceover, the business of voiceover, audiobooks, and so much more. Find more information on my website, voiceoverangela.com. Enjoy today's episode. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me again for another live Q&A here on my channel, or community chat as we call it. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome. My name is Angela. I am a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and my channel is dedicated to those of you just getting started in this wonderful world of voiceover and audiobook narration. And through my channel, I share with you tips, tricks, techniques, things that I smash myself in the face with, every day in my own voiceover business. And then we get together weekly in these chats and talk about a few things. Usually I try to have a topic. We try to stick to that topic. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, if you're not new here, then you know every week we have a new poll, which is usually the topic. Again, we'll see how it goes. And this week the poll is, that is not the right poll because I forgot to change it. Oh, God, it's going to be one of those days. The poll is, do you feel stuck in any aspects of building your voiceover business and or audiobook business? And I ask this because it's already one of those days. I ask that because not only have I been diving into imposter syndrome and negative self-talk and, limiting self-beliefs and all of those things lately because I'm building a course and a few other things. But I am noticing more and more the people that I talk to on a daily basis, the people that I mentor, the groups that I am involved in, I hear so much of the limiting self-beliefs and the negative self-talk and I can't do this, I'm not going to do that. When we tell ourselves that we can't get this, I can't have that, I can't do this, I don't know this, but we're forgetting to add that most important word at the end, yet. Now, those of you that work with me, like in my platinum group, there we go again, in my platinum group and in the circles that I work in, you know that I always say no stinking thinking. Because it's important for us in not just building a business or trying to build a career or just in everyday daily life. We talk to ourselves so negatively, out loud. And it's important to reframe those thoughts into realizing that, no one's going to expect you to know everything, to have experienced everything, right out the gate, right at birth. It's impossible. It's, So as we go through life, we learn new things. We are experiencing new experiences, and we learn as we go and as we grow, to grow, right? And I think a lot of these negative self-talk, these limiting self-beliefs can also fuel and maybe even create imposter syndrome, which we all suffer from in some way, shape, or form. And if we can recognize that we're talking to ourselves or other people or about situations that we're experiencing in these ways, that is the first step in recognizing that I'm limiting myself by telling myself that I don't or I can't or I won't have this thing. And that kind of mindset can really limit what we're doing or what we can do because we're telling ourselves that we can't. When we can, if we just put in the work to do it. There's no, easy button. There never has been. We know that. We're old enough and experienced enough to know that. There's no easy button. You have to learn to crawl before you walk, and then walk before you run, and so on and so on. So I think we really need to be more patient with ourselves and then recognize when we do talk like this. And then reframe that to, yeah, I may not know it now, but I will once I give myself some time to learn it, or to do it, or to experience it, or to have it. Right? My mind has just been blown by learning more about imposter syndrome and where it comes from, where it stems from, the different levels of it, and how much it can hold us back. And I've been going through this journey of trying to see everything through a positive lens. And it really has helped not only in keeping me motivated to further pursue this goal, this career, but it's also helped my mental health quite a bit. And the last few years have been really challenging. This last year has been really challenging for me. So trying to see these things in a positive lens, even if it's really, really hard, will help you to move you forward. And to kind of, surrender. And knowing that you don't have or know or haven't experienced everything yet, but you will. I'm a firm believer in what is meant for you will find you, right? Everything happens for a reason, that sort of a thing. And reframe that to however your belief system is, but I'm a firm believer in that. Come what may. Anywho. So I wanted to, with today's poll, I wanted to see where you guys were and to see if we could figure out perhaps what the blockage is or what it is that you may be saying to yourself to keep you from moving forward. Because it really is just as simple as that. It's what we're saying to ourselves or thinking about ourselves that could potentially stop us from moving forward. Like, I know I'm going off on a tangent. I recognize that, but you guys say you like them. But we've talked about this term quite a bit here on my channel, the procrasti-learning, right? That is also a form of a limiting self-belief because we're telling ourselves that we don't know enough about this. I'm still researching this because I don't know enough of this, so I'm procrastinating because I'm still learning, hence procrasti-learning. It's the same thing. We're holding ourselves back because we're telling ourselves that we're not ready when we probably are. And I think you learn a lot more by doing the hands-on approach, right? Versus just reading about it or watching a video about it. You have to experience that thing to learn about it because everybody's experience and situation is going to be different. So you have to experience it in your own situation in order to learn how to get past it, how to move forward with it, so on and so forth. Right? So recognizing when you're in that procrasti-learning stage is step one. You recognize you're there. Great. Now what? Well, how do I get past this? I'm just going to get started. I'm just going to get the things that I need, right? The hardware that you need, the software that you need, and I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go for it. And I have to tell you, that's exactly how I did it. I didn't know everything when I first started. I don't know everything that I know now, over 6 years later. I had to go through it to learn it. Maybe I'm just hard-headed. Maybe, I don't know what it is. But I said, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to see if I can swim. And then I learned to swim as I went because I had to experience those things in order to learn them. I hope I'm making sense. Anyway, let's get over to the comments and see what you guys are doing. But it looks like, according to the poll, most of you said just with some things. 8% of you said, no, I'm good. So if you're totally good, you have no blockages, no stoppages, then cool. Please share with the rest of us and how you were able to get past any kind of blockages that you experienced. Because these community chats are not just about what I have to say. It's about what you have to say and us sharing as a community to help each other. So 32% of you said yes with all of it. So I'm hoping that something said today will help you to move forward and to stop stopping yourself from moving forward, right? There's a solution to everything. You just need to figure out what it is for you, for your situation, right? You may not be able to get past it, but maybe you can go over it or under it, or, there's a way around everything if you can just think outside the box. Okay. Stop yammering. Let's get over to the comments. Let's see who's first in. Coach Ariel, can't wait to dive in. From Full Fall, California. That's one of the things I miss the most about living in California. I was born and raised in California, Southern. And we did have seasons there. Seasons in the water I miss the most. Now in the desert, it's just mostly hot. It's either hot, cold, or brown and green. Not really green, like a dark green. I don't really get, not in this area anyway. And then Caesar's here. Hey, Caesar. Oh, hi, Angela. I'm definitely making forward progress, but I have to act on my plans I have to act on my plans to farm business on other platforms, such as Upwork and Fiverr. I also have ideas on content creation and social media. Well, good. Just make sure they don't stay as ideas, that they become actions. They start with ideas, then they become plans, and then they become action. Not just for you specifically, Caesar, but for anybody watching. If you have ideas, write them down, plan them out on how you're going to put them into action, and then take action. Right? It's like the going back to what I was saying before about, just jumping in and then learning how to swim. It's the same thing as I've said before, the ready, fire, aim. Right? You're ready to go. You're more ready than you think you are. Fire, and then aim for where you want to go specifically. Right? You want to be a voiceover artist. You want to narrate audiobooks, but you're not quite sure about maybe this thing, or which direction specifically I want to go in. So just, you're ready, fire, get out there and get started, and then aim, right? Start experiencing all the different offerings, all the different opportunities, all the different avenues that are available to you. And then aim, once you have a better idea of what they are, then aim as to where you want to go. Right? But whatever it is, don't let it stop you. Don't allow yourself to be stopped. Don't allow your fear to decide your fate. Just jump in. And then keep going. I am just on a roll today. I think I had way too much coffee. Maybe I need more. Caesar says, I've also had authors and publishing houses reach out to me directly for potential work, which is great, but I need to maintain forward momentum with everything I'm doing. I would say all of that is forward momentum. You may need like a virtual assistant. You may need some help. Someone to help you with the other stuff while you focus on the potential work. Staying busy isn't the problem. On occasion, I get that little panic attack that tells me, what if none of this works? And I'm tempted to retreat into non-action. That's become easier to brush off. Good. And it will become easier and easier as you go. Because you can sit and think, what if none of this works? But what if you focus more of that attention and energy into, what if this does? What if it can? I think it can. I think it's been very clear to you so far that it can, that it is. So the other option of what if none of this works is not even an option, I don't think. You've already proven that it is, that it can, and it will be. So just keep going with that. It's already been proven. I retain, even in my most challenging days, the same zest, drive, I love that word zest, drive and determination to move my career forward. And a lot of it comes from having a community like yours that's immensely supportive. I think that is one of the most important things in any new endeavor, is having community around you to support you, to understand what you're going through, to help you through it. Because, you know, having a partner that's supportive, or a family that's supportive, or, you know, anyone immediately around you that's supportive, but they won't understand. They can't understand what you're going through because they're not going through it. No fault of theirs, but they don't understand what you are going through. They don't understand the terminology. They don't understand your specific struggle. But if you have a community that's going through the same journey, generally speaking, as you are, then they understand where you're stuck. They understand your successes. They understand all of the things that you are currently experiencing, or have experienced, or will experience, and they know how to help you. Everyone in this community has a hand extended saying, take it. Let me help you. I understand where you are. Let me help you. And it's important to have that. Not only to help you succeed, but to help you to grow and to move past obstacles like imposter syndrome and procrastinating and all of the things that we were just talking about. Community is important. Immensely important. That said, hello everyone. I've recently discovered that Icebreaker's ice cubes really helps tame mouth noise. Ooh, interesting. I love those. And you can also pop bubbles with them. It's so much fun. Everyone should try them out. Thank you for that tip, Caesar. Dwight says, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Angela, and my fellow lurkers. I'm on the road getting Riley, my dog, back from knee surgery. Oh, so I will only be able to lurk today. Have fun. But to Caesar's point, this group is good for support in so many ways. It is good to have peers help you, if only as a sounding board, and mentors like Angela to help direct and focus you and your VO path. Thank you for that, Dwight. FYI, I start driving at noon. We ride at dawn is what that feels like. We ride at dawn. Like that little guy. Rustic Hillbilly is here. Good morning. Good morning from Oregon. It's fall and it's beautiful out. Oh, don't rub it in. Don't rub it in. It's brown here. Mostly brown. Oregon is beautiful in the fall. Dylan. Hey, Dylan. Good morning, all. I feel stuck in one area. I feel like I'm stuck as an audiobook narrator and really want to branch out into shorter form stuff. I've done stuff on Upwork and Fiverr, but not enough to pay the bills. I'm trying to direct market to companies at the moment, but I feel that I need a professional demo to continue. I think it's going to depend on who you're marketing to. I don't disagree, but I think it's going to depend on who you're marketing to at the moment. Yeah, I think it's going to depend greatly on because I've seen some success with just DIY demos, but if you're looking for like some I hate to like put businesses in different like calibers, but I think you know what I mean. But if you're looking for like a high caliber or someone who's looking for broadcast, TV, radio, that kind of thing, then yeah, perhaps. But if you're looking for just like e-learning stuff, even though in those cases maybe, but some of the smaller companies probably not. I've done just fine with my DIY demo, but then again, I'm not searching for the NFL. I'm fine with college, if that makes sense. So if you're at that stage where you feel like you might need, then go get one if you want to. I think Dylan, you are in a great place that I think you would be okay. You would do great. You would be able to replicate that sound on your own, not only audio quality wise, but the performance wise. I think you would be a good candidate to go ahead and get yourself a professional demo. Brandon Greenwood is here. Good morning or good afternoon for you. Had some excitement with PayPal nixing an email, so here with a shiny new YouTube account. Oh no, happy Tuesday from Tennessee. And Jim is here from Memphis. Good morning, Jim. Paul Landergan says, good day, Angela et al. From autumnal Essex, UK. Oh, God, that sounds, I'm so jelly. For those of you that get seasons, I'm so jelly. Brandon says, nice to see you again, Jim. Jim says, almost feel like I need someone holding my hand and talking me through Fiverr. There are some details that are not clear, but it's been too long since I last looked. If Fiverr, the platforms in general, there's a lot of tedium and a lot of minutia. There's a lot of little things that you need to fill out. Fiverr is definitely one of those that is the most tedious, but well worth the effort, I think, in building any kind of foundation. Excuse me, if that is the direction that you're wanting to go. We do, in our Platinum group, we do go through Fiverr stuff from time to time, filling out the stuff, filling out gigs. If you want to work with me directly, I am an official Fiverr trainer. I am a official trainer for Fiverr, by Fiverr, through Fiverr. So I can help you with these things if you like. You can book a session with me, a 30-minute session, and we can walk through some things. Just go to my website, voiceoverangela.com, and we can either do a Fiverr gig review or you can book a 30-minute session with me, and I'll walk you through whatever you would like me to walk you through. Monty Dean says hello from South Carolina. I bet you it's beautiful there, too. My cup of tea? Morning. Jim says, that said, I have 2 auditions up in ACX in less than 24 hours. Some of you guys are just like killing it on ACX right now. I'm getting a lot of messages from you guys about all the offers that you're getting. I'm so proud of you. T says South Africa here. Well, thanks for watching. PSV Odyssey says good morning from Arkansas. Look at that. Arkansas. Keith Clark from Arkansas. Nice. Brandon says, I have had a really productive day. Website set up, SoundCloud, branding. Now that all that is done, it's time to get to it. Nice. Forward motion. We like forward motion here. Tall Latin Mama says, good afternoon from North Carolina. Ah, all you guys have seasons. I'm so jelly. I think another trip up north where we actually have trees and seasons is calling. Jim said feeling stuck was the poll shown when I checked in. Yeah, and it is. That is what the poll is, but I forgot to change my banner because I was working. I was actually playing, I was doing a character script this morning of a tarot card reader, which was fun. So I was distracted with that, trying to get that done. Bears, or Donnie. Hi, Donnie. Donnie says, good morning, all. I'm having issues with negotiations on contracts. I'm currently putting together some demos for where I want to be, feeling tired. I did just get another book deal for royalty share. Is there a continuation? It looks like this is it. The book is another 13-hour, 120K workbook, but has the potential to be a series. That's a big one. Make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to get that done. Is this royalty share? The 13-hour book is royalty share? Holy Moses. I hope it's got some great reviews or a lot of marketing horsepower behind it. Alex says, the getting started part is very slow. It is, but don't let that discourage you. That is normal, as what we all go through. It is tedious, lots of minutia, lots of little, I's to dot and T's to cross and the whole thing. But it's just the way that it goes. Once you get past that, it's just upkeep, right? It's just refreshing and upkeep. But the beginning is always the hardest because there's so much to do. There's so much to set up. So don't let that discourage you. Completely normal. I'm glad that you're going to just do it, though. Just do it. Just do it already. Jim says, have been doing this steady since June and feel like I'm moving along, albeit slowly. And slowly is fine as long as it's forward. Right? Slowly is even better than fast because you're not overlooking anything. You're making sure that everything is done the right way or completely, right? Everything is filled out. There's been more intention and attention to detail. So slow is not necessarily bad. I would say slow is the better way to go. You're not overlooking anything. Everything that needs to be done is getting its due attention. So I would say that's a better way to go. So don't ever fault yourself for that. Again, don't limit yourself with going slow. I think that's a better way to go. Look at it that way. Christine says hello. Hello, Christine. Good morning. Pamela is here. Hey, Pamela. I'm speaking with a handyman tomorrow. Hopefully, I will be back in business booth-wise by the first of the year. This past year has been big-time lifing. What with getting married, excuse me, and moved to Washington. Yeah, this year has had a lot of ups and downs, for sure, for a lot of people, myself included. Donnie says the book is another 13-hour. That was a continuation from earlier. Kathleen says, hello. It's lunchtime in New York, so no donuts. You can have donuts at any time of day. There's no limit. There's no time limit for donuts. Come on, Kathleen. But I have some yummy homemade cheese and onion enchiladas to share. That sounds good. Come on over. Be there in about 8 hours, maybe 12. We'll see. Jim says, I am just foolish and crazy to think I can act it. I can at least try to use my voice to make money. I am just foolish and crazy to think I can at least try. I think that whole statement is foolish and crazy. Excuse me. Just saying, Jim. It's not foolish and crazy at all. It's a voice. Use it. That's what we get paid to do, is use our voices. So it's not foolish or crazy to use what you have to express yourself. I'm pumping the brakes on the tangent, Jim. I'm about to mom you to death right now. That whole sentence I don't like. I'm just saying. Donnie says, congratulations, Pam. You got this and can't wait for you to get back in the booth. Yep. You will. It's going to take the time it takes, right, to get it all right and to get it all ready. Peak Parable says, one of the biggest challenges I face is building a career with full-time work that actually pays the bills and building a business base that is profitable enough to justify the leap. It's not a challenge. You are building something, and that takes time. It's not a challenge. Just be patient with it. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself some grace and keep moving forward. Every other person, myself included, that I know that has gone through this, working full time, and in my case, 50 plus hours a week for someone else, and still able to build this within 2 years. That's how long it took me. And other people, it took a little bit longer, and other people, it took a little bit less time. But it's going to take the time that it takes. It's not a challenge. It's a goal, and you're working toward it. And again, even if it's slower than molasses on a January morning, it's still forward. It doesn't matter how small of a step or how long it takes. It's still forward. It's still forward momentum. So see it that way and give yourself some credit. Give yourself some grace. Recognize that it's still progress. And don't be hard on yourself. It's not a challenge. I'm seeing some of the other, she's going to stare you down, Jim. Yes, don't make me give you the mom look, because I'll do it. I'll take my sandal off. Let me hit you with my sandal. For those of you who know, you know. Caesar says, congratulations, Donnie. I'm sure you can also get the hang of the business side of VO. Just takes time, experience, and copious amounts of alcoholic beverages. Voiceover Angela does not condone copious amounts of alcoholic drinking. That was Caesar. That was Caesar that said that. Dylan says, my Lord, Donnie, how do you take on those projects? I could never do a 13-hour book. I don't have the attention span. Well, you're not doing 13 hours all at once. You break it down. And then you have a reset attention span every day, right? So if you break it down to recording 2 chapters a day, and then you start fresh the next day with the next 2 chapters, that's a whole reset attention span, right? Again, look at it that way. Not, I don't have. Dylan. Donnie says to Dylan, I am stubborn and hard-headed. There is no quit in me. Good. Donnie, you just got the gold star for today. There's no quit in me. Jim says, I have the incentive that I am needing an income, any income to pay the bills. While that could be a good why as to why to do this, but it shouldn't be your only why, because that's not going to be enough to keep you going. Incentive to just make money is not the best way to keep this going. You have to have a desire to want to do this. You have to have the desire to tell stories, to become characters, to be the voice of an educator. You have to have a desire to do this, to keep this going. It can't just be money. I mean, hard truth. It can't just be the desire for money. And not just you, Jim, but anybody else watching. There has to be more of a why to do this than just money. Otherwise, it will not carry you through. You will not see the success that you want to see if you just need money. I'm the gamer. Is doing an inferior product better than doing no product at all? I feel that's a loaded question. I feel that in the beginning, we're not going to be, I think, in our heads what we think we should be, or there's a lot of different ways I can answer that question. I think when we look at something as inferior, I think that is a little bit of imposter syndrome and a little bit of comparisonitis in that question. I think in the beginning, we don't have our skill set down. We don't have the training done. We don't know everything about audio quality. We don't know everything about intention, breaking down a script, where inflection could be used, or emphasis, or all of those things. And all of those things just come with time and training. So calling anything that you do inferior is a limiting self-belief. It is negative self-talk. Everything we do in the very beginning, the very first time that we ride a bike, we might fall on our face. Right? Would you call that inferior bike riding? We're learning. So give yourself some grace. Again, Give yourself the time and space to learn to do these things. Invest in workshops, invest in peer groups, masterminds, get a coach, get a mentor, and start to learn and experience these things. But I would say learning in the doing is the best way to go about it. But I would never, ever call anything that you produce inferior. It may be the beginning stages of something, but I wouldn't call it inferior at all. You're just limiting yourself from the start. You're capping yourself before you can even get started. Mentally, if that makes sense. Dylan says that will serve you well, Donnie. Brandon says you're gonna do awesome, Jim. Dang right. Yes, you are, Jim. You're gonna do awesome. You are awesome. Right? Brandon says to I'm the Gamer, perfect isn't a thing. You have to learn where good and great are. Perfect, I hate the word perfect. I think the word perfect does more damage than good because there is no such thing as perfect. There's so many different definitions of perfect. And I think it's just so subjective that there can't be anything that's perfect. There has to be just satisfied. There has to be good enough. There has to be, I think satisfied is a better way to go. I'm satisfied with this because that is the best of my ability right now. Right? And then as you go, you get better and better and better. So that definition of satisfied is going to change. Satisfaction here on month 5, and then satisfaction is now here, and then your definition of satisfaction is now here. It's going to change. So I hate the word perfect because it's, again, I think it does more damage than good. But yes, good and great and satisfied are better way to go. My Cup of Tea says, sometimes I've held myself back with a desire to upgrade my booth. I have sheets and PVC pipe setup that has changed since moving, but I won't let it stop me. I will improve the setup though. Yeah, and my studio has gone through several iterations since I started. And you'll continue to do that. You'll continue to change things and to rip everything out and restart. It's just another normal thing. You're going to upgrade your equipment as you go. You're going to just change and improve the more you learn. It's a continually evolving thing, improving thing. So do it. Caesar says to I'm the Gamer, I think first off, you have to stop thinking in terms of inferiority, superiority. Jump in, learn as you go, get better, win more jobs. Yeah, I agree. Brandon says to my Cup of Tea, I have a comforter castle myself, a PVC cube with comforters on it, and I had a booth audit recently that said it was great. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty. It don't have to be pretty. It just has to sound good. You could have the hokiest hobo fort, that you record in, but it could sound amazing. They don't have to be pretty. Don't need to have the lights and all of the things. I do this because I'm dorky and I like it. You don't have to have all this stuff in it. I just like it. Tess says, just finished revamping my the webpage and ready to roll again on marketing. Working on business Facebook page too. I feel like I'm moving again. Good. Just do it. Brandon says, as long as it sounds good, it is good. Absolutely. It just has to sound good. Ralph Toll says, my challenge is building my VO biz while working in other jobs. Another job. Greetings from Fresno, California. I have family in Fresno. I love Fresno. Goodness gracious. Again, it's not a challenge. It's a step. It's a step. So just keep moving forward. Even if you don't have a whole lot of time to invest into this right now, it is still time. Even if you only have 20 minutes a day, to to invest into this. That is still progress. 20 minutes into something is still better than nothing. It's still better than zero, right? Stop being so hard on yourselves, you guys. It's not a challenge. It's a step. It's an evolution. It's building a foundation. It takes time. Not a challenge. It can be done. You just got to do it. Jim says, Mission Audition is a podcast I recommend for listening to be encouraged about this. Yes, Mission Audition is a great podcast. There are a lot of great podcasts. Mission Audition is just one. There's also VO Peeps. There's the Everyday VOpreneur, Mark Scott. There's Anthony Pica's A VO's Journey. There are a lot of great podcasts out there. The VO Body Shop. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There's quite a few. There's a lot of great podcasts out. And of course mine. The She-Lancer Mom Entrepreneur. But you can see or hear those, which are just replays of these sessions, really. But technically a podcast, I suppose. I'm the Gamer says, what would you suggest for someone who works 70 hours a week and finding time to record recording and auditions? I would love to give you an easy button, but I can't. I mean, just being real, I would say you, based on your schedule and the time you have available, are going to have to discover where you can slice out little bits of time to work on this. It might take you longer than it took me, because I was about 50 hours a week, 50 plus hours a week in what I was doing. But you have obviously less time to devote to this. But still, if you can carve out 20, 30 minutes a day, if you can sacrifice 30 minutes of sleep and invest that into building this, that is going to be solely up to you. But that's really the only way that this is going to get off the ground. You might have to sacrifice 30 minutes an hour here, there to get this done. And that is where your why to do this is really going to help keep you motivated to do that. The why to do this, your why, and why you want to become a voice artist or audiobook narrator has to be strong enough to move you, push you through these moments of doubt and uncertainty. And where you're limiting yourself by saying, I only have this much time. How can I possibly do this? Well, obviously you want to do this. That's why you're here. That's why you're joining this community chat and asking questions and getting involved. Obviously you want to. So it's going to be up to you to find that time. So maybe sacrifice a little. I don't know. I'm just generally speaking, if you come home from work and you put your feet up and you turn the TV on for an hour, take half that time, because I understand the unplugged time. Believe me, I do. Just to unplug and do nothing, let your brain go in a vegetative state to recover from the day. I understand that. But if you can take some of that time and maybe devote it into building something new and exciting, a dream, how much more fulfilling is that once you actually achieve it, once you actually get there? When you accomplish that goal, that dream, instead of, although again, it is nice just to unplug and let you just, become a vegetable for half an hour after a long day of brain damage. I get it. I do. But just think about that sense of accomplishment. Once you get there, once you're at that place you call there, wherever that is for you, whatever level of success or definition of success that is for you, think about what that would feel like to be there, to finally achieve that. And then you're looking back and going, God, I'm so glad that I took a little bit of that relaxed time and dedicated that time to moving me forward in this. I'm just full of tangents today. Eric says, hi, Angela. I responded no, only because I am currently working on 2 books and was just sent another manuscript from an author I have worked with before. Getting paid well is another issue entirely. Stop it. Again, stop it. That's another limiting statement. Getting paid well is going to be is different for everybody. What you consider to not be well may be a dream come true to someone else. Please make sure that you're being grateful for everything that you are achieving. Every little move forward, and then every little reward for that move forward, just be grateful for that. And then just know that it will get better. It will continue to grow as you grow. Right? We don't start, most of us don't start our first job with working with a Fortune 500 company making $200,000 a year. We don't. That is almost unheard of. Unless you're an author and you write it in your books. That doesn't happen. We usually start at like McDonald's or the car wash or come on. We have to learn and experience and grow. And then all of that stuff just kind of comes as you grow. So don't limit yourself with statements like that, Eric. Just keep going. Keep learning and growing. The money will come. Peak Parable says to Dylan, biggest book I'm currently working is 22 hours. Holy Moses. That's a big one. I found during 1 or 2 hours at a time helps to break up, record for a bit, editing a bit, then do something else completely separate. And that's exactly how I would do it too. I always tell you guys, I sit for 2 to 3 hours max, and then I'm up and moving around and doing something else. Everything in here gets completely shut down, and then I go detach, disengage, go do something else, move around, get the blood circulating, go outside, get some air, whatever it is. You can't sit in here for 12, 13 hours a day. That's not good for you. That's not good for your body. And it's good to sort of disconnect every once in a while or multiple times throughout the day. Save your sanity and hydrate. Drink water. Brandon says, I am the gamer, or to I am the gamer. Find what time you can. It's not easy, but even a half an hour learning is better than none at all. Exactly. Keith says, I am definitely getting closer to being ready. My dog clickers have arrived. And again, Keith, I'm not picking on you, but don't wait to be ready. Until your clickers come in, snap your fingers, cluck your tongue, clap. Find some way to get around it. Don't hold yourself back because you don't have something. I mean, if it's the mic you're waiting on, I get it. That's kind of different. But I mean, something like a dog clicker shouldn't stop you. Find another way to do it. I know. You're like, Angela, you don't know my situation. I get it. Believe me, I do. But if you start thinking in this way, you'll start to move forward faster. If you don't find little ways to limit yourself or to stop yourself or to hold yourself back. I hope I'm making sense. Donnie says, and yes, these are copious amounts of rum. You two, don't make me separate you and put you in separate corners because I'll do it. Dylan says, I am the gamer, or to I am the gamer. I work full-time plus overtime and have 2 kids in travel hockey. Unfortunately, sacrificing sleep is the thing that I have to do. I record after my family falls asleep until around 1 a.m. That's dedication right there. That is drive. Just be careful, Dylan, to not burn yourself out. Don't burn yourself out, Dylan. Jim says, I now have a script to be read for a book in ACX. It was originally a royalty share only deal, but I talked to him into small per finished hour fee to get me started. Jim is referring to Royalty Share Plus. He got an offer for a royalty share book, meaning that you just share in the profits of the book through Audible, the audiobook through Audible. And he messaged the rights holder and suggested Royalty Share Plus, meaning a per finished hour rate plus sharing in the royalties. And the rights holder said, yep, let's do it. So it doesn't hurt. Again, it doesn't hurt to ask these questions. What would it hurt? Just ask. Just ask. So I'm proud of you, Jim. I'm glad that you did. Dylan said, congrats, Jim. Yes. Khan says, each time I hear the AI getting better, I feel threatened and also notice a decline on some regular bookings. Wanted to invest in new gear, but now I'm thinking twice. I don't even worry about AI. I don't worry about AI. I've been asked increasingly, I might add, I've been asked to redo stuff that AI has been originally contracted to do or been originally recorded with AI. I am redoing that because AI, no matter how good it is, it's not going to have a soul. It's not going to have the depths of human emotion. AI has never experienced love, loss, sorrow, joy, right? It's a non-factor. My cup of tea says to Brandon, I have an idea on how to improve it. The next step is to plan it out, then do it. Glad to hear that your booth is good to go. You got this. Go forth and conquer. Absolutely. Caesar says to Khan, AI still can't shift emotions in the same way a human being can, so you're still a long ways from losing work to a language model. It's an algorithm. It's an algorithm. It's not a soul. Dylan says to Khan, AI is getting better, but it's still awful. I've tried to listen to a couple of books that used ACX's AI narration service, and I couldn't finish them. They are grating and monotone. Jim says, when does it cool down in the desert? Well, right now it's currently 78. I mean, that's technically a cool down. It's not triple digits, so it's technically a cool down. I've had the doors open and the windows open for the last few days. So it's technically cooling down. Caesar says to Jim when Angela gives the mom look. Kevin Kincaid says, hello, first time here, welcome. And just starting, so these may be off topic. Masonry Construction says, regarding ready, fire, aim, imagine your VO Biz as a new boat placed in a safe harbor. Its rudder will steer you where you want to take it for its first journey, but rudders only steer while moving through water. Yep, that's another great way to look at it. Tess says, ooh, I love that analogy. Gregory, morning, Gregory. I see all your stuff on TikTok, my friend. Do some stuff with your voice, too, instead of just filters. Do some narration stuff. You have a great voice. Good morning, folks. Time management and prioritizing is my thing, as well as discovering the other platforms and creating profiles there. Getting better focus. Good. Kevin says, I noticed I'm very monotone. How do I find my voice and add true emotion and cadence? Also, what would be the difference between VO and VA? VO is just voiceover and VA is voice artist. Same difference. Really, I mean, they're interchangeable unless you're talking about something specific like a voiceover has been recorded, that kind of a thing. But it's a voiceover or voice artist. It's more of a thing and then a person or a recording and a person, but still used interchangeably. If you're coming off as very monotone and not showing true emotion, that means that you're not connecting with what you're reading. You're not connecting with what you're reading. You're just reading words. You're reading a page. You're not becoming, you're not connecting with it. Our jobs as voice actors or audiobook narrators is to bring life, is to, if we think about it this way, instead of looking at it as a manuscript, look at it as someone, the author, may have spent years writing this book, years invested into writing, rewriting, peer reading, editing, revising, blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. So your job is to give it life, is to bring it to life. I mean, if we're talking about AI written books, that's a completely different thing. But in most cases, someone has taken a lot of time. This is their baby. So you want to treat it as such. Especially in the beginning, you want to stick with looking for projects that you can connect with. because then you'll start to see that if it's something that you enjoy, if it's something that you enjoy talking about, learning about, something that you can relate to, it's going to come out that way. It'll feel more energizing, exciting, engaging because it is to you. So it's going to come out that way, right? So in the beginning, stick with what resonates with you. Stick with what excites you. Stick with what you can relate and connect to. And then as you go, as you start to get training and coaching and all of these things, you'll start to see how you can bring forth the acting part of being a voice actor and sounding like you connect, sounding like, but I think really what it comes down to is understanding what you're reading, why you're reading it, and who you're reading it to, right? Connecting with the copy. I feel a tangent coming, but I'm going to pump the brakes because we've already been on for an hour. But I think that's really what it is. You need to find something that you can connect to. So the emotion comes out. Use your own life experiences. Tap into your own life experiences for whatever's happening in the manuscript. Tap into that. Put yourself in that situation. Put yourself in that person's shoes and then read it. Voiceover Van Deen says, afternoon from Newcastle, UK. From me and the... Oh, no. I don't see the rest of it. Uh-oh. Frog. Yeah. Masonry Construction says, Jim Williams, excellent deal negotiating strategy on an RS offer. Caesar says, say, Paul Landrigan, I still have a bunch of unused UK promo codes for my book that I narrated with Raven Wildwood. Name dropper. Caesar says to Paul, I could send you what I have if you happen to know a handful of folks who happen to like underwater fantasy romance stories with a few naughty bits. I don't have enough naughty bits here. Jim says, I don't start out on any creative venture without skin up front. Why are you yelling at me? You know, caps are yelling. Stop it. Even a little registering an earnest investment. Don't yell at me, Jim. I'm trying to help you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The Stupendous Chumley says, taking a break from bringing firewood into the house. Once I have that accomplished, I can assemble my DIY audio upgrades. I wish I had a fireplace. Jim says, thank you very much for that, Angela. And then you and Anthony both said to put up 3 samples in ACX, take them down and put them back up to get at the top of the list. And then also keep adding to them, keep refreshing them. Don't just stick with 3. Have lots and recycle them. Masonry Construction says to Jim, I just signed up for Mission Audition Podcast. Thanks for the tip. Great podcast. Brandon says she's going to stare you down, Jim. Oh, yeah. Brandon says, my only issue is that I found a kitten yesterday in the freezing cold, so it's interesting hearing the yowling in the background. Why don't you love me, meow? Yes, I know. I think that is the only reason why, because I've been wanting to adopt another cat myself for my cat because she's getting older and I think she would like the company. But that is the one thing that I think is stopping me is the noise. Yeah, I hear you. Kathleen says, I took your advice to just try on auditioning for fiction work. They're a lot more fun than just trying the nonfiction. I'm making forward progress. Good for you. Jim says, wife thinks so. Have been doing this whole thing over her strongest objections. Keep proving her wrong, Jim. PSV Odyssey. I don't want your wife mad at me. I actually just put up a 1-minute trial on LibriVox. I have to work on volume and the rate using built-in mic on tablet and Audiolab. Interesting. Using a mic on a tablet? Interesting. Lorna's Adventures After 50 says, hello, everyone. Good to be back in the USA. Currently pet sitting, house sitting in nippy, foggy Oregon. Time to edit and voice over my own videos. My mindset has grown and changed. Why is vital? Is there a continuation? I don't know. I'll have to see. Jim says, this book I'm starting on is the direct result of having put up, taking down, and putting back up. Got an offer within 24 hours. 40% of jobs on ACX are offered from the sample section. So 60% it comes from the auditions that you do, and the other 40% comes from the samples. So don't overlook them. Post your samples. Caesar says, I have a lot of whys. I want to pay bills, retire in the Maldives, and buy lots of microphones. I also really love doing sexy words. Yeah, it comes naturally for you, Caesar. You don't really have to try. Tall Latin Mama says, my why, longtime paramedic, not a pandemic, paramedic here. Finally got off the truck, work from home now for a healthcare organization. Love being creative and love seeing my son more. It drives me toward combining these. Yes, my son is also my why. Spending more time with my son was my why, is my why, has been my why. Very rewarding. Donnie says, you have to love this or you will fizzle. Caesar says to Tall Latin Mama, that's an awesome why right there. Jim says, technique question. Now, having the script in hand, do I send the recorded script directly to the client? I am just curious as to the details and how it works. You upload them through ACX. If you have a job through ACX, there will be a production tab. And in that tab, there will be slots for you to upload files. Make sure that you're doing all the research on how to navigate ACX, right? Look around ACX and make sure that you understand how it works. Also, Jim, if you want, take that question to Discord and someone will get with you on more specifics. The incentive is that I can make a living doing something from my own talent. This makes me a VO speaker, writer, actor, etc. A cup of tea says practice makes progress. Yes, I like that much better. Lorna's Adventures After 50 says, the VO journey Y keeps on task. Enjoy little things. Bigger trips take more planning. Stop signs, traffic jams, bad weather, road closures, flat tires, mechanical issues are inevitable. That's right. Just keep going. No matter what is thrown at you, you can get around it with a little bit of patience, determination, drive, and time. Right? Effort. Donnie says, yay, someone besides me got the mom look. It's usually you. Brandon says to Jim, if you're talking about ACX, Jim, you just send it direct to them, to ACX. You upload them into ACX. Who is them, the rights holder or ACX? ACX. Brandon says, when you upload the file to ACX, a rights holder can download it. Caesar says, my recording space started with moving blankets too. Now I have professional panels. Even if my performance gets loud, there is absolutely no echo. Took a lot of work to build and mount them, though. Masonry Construction says, Tess Stalker, can we have your website address so we can visit it? Caesar says to Donnie, what's the count so far? I think today I got mom look number 476. I think we're more like 700 and something. Jim says, once saw a video by Lenny B on booth design. What I am doing now comes from his videos. Yeah, Lenny B is a good resource too. Booth Junkie, Lenny B, VO Tech Guru. Did I already say Mark Scott, VOpreneur? There's a lot of great people on YouTube that have great videos on how-tos. ACX, Jim, ACX also has a channel here on YouTube that you should look into on learning how to navigate and use it. Caesar says, the Microphone Assassin is my favorite podcast. It's why I'm broke and sitting on a throne made of microphones. JCC BCL AOL says, you have to approach VO like learning any other skill. It takes commitment, and it is more gradual, like most things. Gregory said, I recently had a construction crew invade my sound closet, and I started hearing the room on my recording. It forced me to redo things, pull other things out, and get to that good sound again. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of evolution in this journey, I'll tell you that, in everything. You just have to be open to it and give yourself the grace to go through it. Patience. And also having the groups, the community that can help you usually pinpoint something or to help identify something that maybe you can't. I'm the Gamer says, thank you for the information and the tips. I appreciate it greatly. You are welcome. Eric says, I constantly work to improve myself through practice, training in the Platinum Group. I know I'll never be Andy Serkis or Caesar or Angela or Donnie, etc., but I can make sure that I'm the best me. Yes, and don't, again, I'm not picking on you, Eric, but for anybody listening, don't allow yourself to compare yourself to other people. Just be you and be the best version of you that you can be. JCC BCL AOL says, also, it's our favorite time of the year, Angela. Halloween. Yes. Halloween is next week. It's a little over a week away. It's my favorite holiday. Brandon says, I am the gamer, or I am the gamer. This why this place is a thing. Donnie says ACX University has started back up as well. There you go. I know ACX had a lot of videos on ACX, but now they have, or they have had a YouTube channel. Masonry Construction says to I am the gamer, concentrate on simpler VO commercial projects. A 1 to 3 minute script will be completed in an hour or two. That strategy will be doable. Peak Parable says, in regards to time management, I work 60 to 80 hours a week in construction. To find time to dedicate to voiceover, I have cut out TV and other frivolous tasks. I like that. I haven't turned on the TV in days. If it's important, find time. Yeah, and that is something really for us to recognize too. If this is really something important to you, you will find the time. You will fight for it. You will make the time and fight for it, right? Chat with Lorna. Hi, Angela. Yes, on the why and just doing it. Over 100 little videos in now and feeling satisfied. I get better each video. Love it. Donnie says to Eric, stop that. Don't compare or I will give you the Angela mom look. You are you, and that is amazing and great and talented. You voice a dragon, for crying out loud. I mean, how many people can say that? Brian says, good morning. Sorry I'm late. Here's some Krispy Kreme donuts. See, Brian gets it. If you're late, you bring the donuts. Doesn't matter what time it is. Thank you, Brian. Brandon says, Don LaFontaine said, you are you. That's it. Everyone else just isn't. Thank you for that, Brandon. Jim says, I unplug during lunch, watch TV for as long as it takes to get through lunch, then go rest while digestion makes me sleepy. Alex Jensen says, I'm thinking about achieving that success, and I want to be in the room where it happens. In this case, the room will be my tiny booth with my sword hanging on the wall. To slay dragons? What's the sword for? I'm just jealous because I want to have a wall of like katanas and like Japanese swords. That's one of my goals in life. I told you I was a dork. Caesar says, one of these days I will narrate Tolstoy's War and Peace unabridged. Wow. Wow. Caesar, or Brandon says to Caesar, in one sitting. My God. I was going to add that. Tess says to Caesar, I can hear your voice for that book. I could too. Caesar says to Tess, kind of works, doesn't it? Yes, it do. Jim says, I don't use a clicker. I just give a pause and restate the line I knew I did wrong. Brandon says, as for AI, you get what you pay for. They read math homework the same way they read Oliver Twist. That's funny. That's funny. I mean, it's the same algorithm, right? It's so funny. Brian says, so I'm frustrated with my business. I finally got my sound to where it needs to be. Took months of 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Started getting nibbles again on ACX and moving forward on the book. Just keep, I mean, life is going to life. Life is going to life at any time during life. So if life is lifing and you need a pause, you need to take a pause. That is the universe or whomever telling you you need to pump the brakes for right now. You're doing too much. You need to rest. You need to relax. Right? So listen and take the break. Ralph says, thanks for changing challenge to steps mindset. I love your tangents. Jim says, AI is not a worry. It has no soul. Jim says, or Caesar says to Jim, kind of like my ex. 351 for mom looks. And I think it's higher than that. I think it's twice that. Erica Carr says, I just want to say hello. I'm so brand new. I am clueless. You're not clueless. You're learning. Reframing. Step 1. Welcome, Erica. Monty Deans. Oh, what just happened? I can't see it now. There it is. Thanks for all the positivity, team. Absolutely. Chat with Lorna says, thank you, Angela. Everyone hit the like button. Please give back to the wonderful work Angela has done. Yes, please hit that like button. Tap it, tickle it, smash it, whatever. Just click it. And if you're watching this in Team Replay, please consider subscribing. It really does help my algorithms to push my content out into the interwebs and to find the people that are also wanting this information, wanting to get started with their own voiceover journey, and I can find them and hopefully help them. Caesar says to Donnie, got up those numbers. No. I give enough mom looks to my son. I don't need to be giving mom looks to you guys too. Frank says to Erica, same. There is so much I don't know. And I know there's even more that I don't know. And we will continue to find those things that we don't know, even years later, right? You have to go through the experiences to learn what you have to learn what you have to know. I'm sure there's still a whole lot that I don't know because I don't know that I need to know it, right? That's just normal. It's normal in learning anything new. Brandon says to Erica, welcome. Brandon says to Frank, that's the best way to go. It's good that you're exploring. Just don't allow yourself to get stuck in the procrastinating learning stage. Ready, fire, aim. Right? Just jump in. Learn to swim as you go. Robert says, have you seen the recent Fiverr ad saying nobody cares about AI? I found it completely tone deaf on their behalf. What are your thoughts? It's in the LinkedIn right now. I have not seen that yet, but I will go and take a look. Frank says, just remember that opinions are opinions and not all opinions are going to be your opinions, or, you know what I mean? So just take everything that you see and read with a grain of salt and just make sure that you're following your own opinions and directions and perspective, your path. Just kind of turn the blinders on. Right? Frank says, thanks, Brandon. I really need some friends that are already in the business that can answer my silly questions. We all need that. Brandon says to Frank, always nice to have people you can go up to, tap on the shoulder and say, huh? JCC, BCA, AOL, I didn't know you had a cat. How cool. Yes, I have a black cat. A long hair black cat. Jim says, somebody says to look at books in ACX that are in your interest area, lest you get an offer for a book you don't like. Brandon says to Robert, I saw that yesterday. What the heck? It just makes me nuts. I'm gonna have to go and find it. Jim says, sorry about the yelling. I just don't start work without some skin. Good. Jerry says, hola from Tejas. We got some Texans in here. Jim says, it's noon, lunchtime, out of here. Enjoy your lunch. Brandon says, have fun. Dylan says, buy all chapters to record, emails to send. Go get it. Jim says, thanks for that. I'm new territory here. Dwight says, to the VO artist that has a 70-hour work week, it is important to figure out your plan and priority of tasks. We can help you with that. I specialize in that and don't charge. It's my pay it forward. Dwight is excellent at productivity. I have to wrap this up, guys. I'm trying to go through these fast. Jim says ACX has a YouTube channel address. Just in YouTube, just in the search bar, just punch in ACX. It'll come up for you. Dwight says, Frank Oakley, join Angela's Platinum Group and you'll get more help than you can imagine. And without judgment, just saying. I'm the Gamer says, what training would you recommend for someone just starting out? That is a very loaded question. I would say it depends on where you're currently at. I would say join Facebook groups, masterminds, my Platinum Group. Get a coach, find a mentor, and have them help you from where you're currently at, because everybody kind of starts in a different place. And we all have different experiences. Obviously, you need equipment and software and all those things, but I would get with someone and figure out what you have and then what you need moving forward. Alex says the sword is because I always wanted a katana, so I got one. And where better to put it than when I finally finished building my tiny booth? It rests on my dragon sconce shelves. I want that. I want that. I want a room full of dragons and swords. like a like a dragon lair. Jerry says, swords and donuts. This is my kind of crowd. Absolutely. Alex says, if it's important, you make time. That's why I read to my kids every day. Here comes the frog. Wish I could record those times because I know that's when I'm at my best. Oh, you could. Brandon says, too, I'm the gamer. I just joined Gravy for the Brain recently. It's been awesome. There are a ton of things out there. Just be sure to find a group of people you dig. Find your tribe, or your tribe will find you eventually. If it's meant for you, they'll find you. Brian says, my message got cut off. Started working on my book I'm on, but then my body pooped out on me. I have a herniated disc in the back and can't walk, stand, or sit. Ouch. Why, God, is a constant lament. So, yeah, that might be the universe telling you you're pushing too hard. And sometimes it's going to smack you down. It's going to force you. If you're not seeing the signs, if you're ignoring the signs to slow down or stop, then something will stop you in your tracks. Robert says, as a follow-up to my Fiverr AI question, I care because it seems that all I get recently, people either openly wanting to clone my voice or they disappear when I bring it up. Everything is AI. Not everything. You're going to have people out there trying to take advantage no matter what you're doing. No matter what you're promoting, what you're trying, what kind of work you're trying to do, you're going to have somebody somewhere trying to take advantage of you. Anytime you make yourself available online, for any reason, there will be someone trying to take advantage. But you will move past that. I would say whatever platform, stream of attention that you're giving, like if you're on one particular platform for work, you need to diversify, is basically what I'm saying. You need to get out there and diversify. Be on multiple platforms for work. Not only freelance marketplaces, but also voiceover specific platforms. Get on social media, start direct marketing, start diversifying where you are, and a lot of that stuff will go away. You'll stop seeing so much of it. Brandon says to Robert, LinkedIn is just as bad. LinkedIn is great, but it can be not fun. I think all of the social media platforms have their pros and cons. I have a love-hate relationship with social media. There is a lot of good for your business that can come from being on social media 100%. And I think that is the best way for any business to grow right now, any small business or really business of any size. Social media is where everybody's attention is. This is where the eyeballs are. So in order for you to get in front of those eyeballs, you also have to be there. You have to be on social media for your business. On a personal level, maybe not so much. I think it does a lot of damage. Can do a lot of damage, has done a lot of damage. But for your business, it can be a good thing. So it's just kind of nature of the beast. But as long as you are curating your feeds with what is aligned with what you're trying to do, meaning if you have a business account and you're only aligning with liking, engaging with content that can help your business move forward, all the other stuff doesn't even come in to the picture. All the other stuff that can hurt doesn't come into the picture, if that makes sense. So just make sure that you're curating your social media feeds appropriately. Anywho, that is it that I have for today. If there's a topic or something that you want to talk about or something that you want to suggest that we talk about here as a community on my channel, then please put it in the comments below and perhaps we can talk about it in a future community chat session. But I will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, stop talking to yourself so negatively. Stop holding yourself back from moving forward. Recognize what you're saying and the words that you say to yourself and about yourself and reframe them. And I promise you, you will start to see more positive things happen for you because you'll start to see things in a positive way. And it'll help you to not limit yourself and you'll start making more progress. Okay? All right. I'll see you guys all next week. Bye. Thank you for listening to She Lancer Mom Entrepreneur with VoiceOver Angela. That's me. For more information about me, visit my website, voiceoverangela.com, or hop on over to my YouTube channel, VoiceOver Angela. Again, thanks for listening. Have a great day.